Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone. For the first, I will introduce myself. So, my name is Hana Prameswari Suherni. I learn in University Islamic State Syarif Hidayatullah Jakarta. My major is English Education. And I'm from class 4C. In this video, I will review my textbook. That's a reference textbook. And the title is Alright. An Introduction to English Semantic and Pragmatics is a book by Patrick Reeves. The publisher is by Edinburgh University Press. This book is published in 2006 and this book has 206 pages. This book is for you who interest in linguistic study, like about pragmatics and semantics. And maybe if you have the same major as me, you must read this book. It's so useful for you. You can see about the words, the meanings of words, and many. So, you must read. If you interest or you want to know about linguistic, pragmatics, semantics, you can try and you will find how this book is interest. This book have 9 contents with different title and different materials, of course. Let's get into the contents. Chapter 1. Studying meaning. So this chapter is introduce the study of meaning in English, like distinguishing between pragmatics and semantics. Okay, like I told before, in first subbab is about pragmatics distinguished from semantics. So, what is pragmatics and what is semantics? Pragmatics is concerned with how the resources provided by a language are used in communication, and semantics is concerned with the resources themselves, including the vocabulary and a system for calculating phrase, clause, and sentence meanings. In this subbab is about utterance and sentence, 3 stages of interpretation, and a first outline of pragmatics. Next, for second subbab is types of meaning. So, what types of meaning studied in semantics? So, types of meaning studied in semantics is discuss the distinction between semantic and pragmatics, which implies that semantics is concerned with the study of meaning in general. Here we have denotation, sense, reference, and deixis. So next subbab is about semantics. What is the focus of semantics? The focus of semantics is on a toolkit for meaning, including knowledge encoded in the vocabulary of the language and its patterns, for building more elaborate meanings, up to the level of sentence meanings, like propositions, composability, and entailment. Next, let's get into the chapter 2. The title is Adjective Meanings. Here, discuss how language is used to give the meanings of words, including sense relations relevant to adjectives such as synonyms, complementaries, antonyms, and converses. The chapter also explores constructions with adjective, including gradability and adjectives modifying nouns. Here are 3 subbab, I think. The first, using language to give the meaning of words. We use language to give the meanings of words by providing definitions, using words in context, and explaining their use through synonyms, examples, and descriptions. The second subbab is sense relations relevant to adjectives. The book discusses like synonyms, complementaries, antonyms, and converses. So in this subbab is talk about that all. Next is construction. Construction with adjectives. The construction with adjectives involve the ways adjectives combine with other words, particularly nouns, to form phrases and modify the meanings. Here are like credibility, adjectives modifying nouns, larger set than pairs. Chapter 3. Chapter 3 is noun vocabulary. So this chapter is delves into the vocabulary of noun in English. The discussion about the has relation, hyponymy, and incompatibility. It explains how nouns can have parts, including partial parts, and how this part can have parts themselves. The subbab of this chapter is the has relation. The has relation of the context of nouns. The has relation is a relationships between a noun and its part, such as a car having wheels, And in this subbab, there are pragmatic inference from the has relation. Parts can have parts and partial parts. Also, yields and beginnings, some other parts. Next subbab is about hyponymy. The hyponymy is a relationship between a noun and its hyponyms, which are more specific instances of the noun, such as a car being a type of vehicle, like that. There are subbab is hierarchies of hyponyms and the has relation. And the last is incompatibility. The incompatibility refers to the inability of certain nouns to coexist or be used together in a sentence. Here is about further points about incompatibility and count noun and mass nouns. Count noun and mass nouns is another subbab for this chapter. Next, for chapter 4. So this chapter is about verbs and situations. So the chapter examines the meanings of verbs in English, focusing just on causatives and situation types. Chapter 5, figurative language. So in this chapter is how language can be used to convey meaning beyond to the literal interpretation of words, highlighting the importance of context in understanding figurative language. In this chapter is the first about literal and figurative usage. What is the difference about that? The difference between literal and figurative usage is that literal usage conveys the exact meaning of words, while figurative usage use words in a non-literal or symbolic way to create effects or convey deeper meanings. Next subbab is about irony, presuppositions, and metonymy. So, irony refers to the use of words to convey a meaning that is opposite of their literal meaning. Presuppositions are assumptions or implications that are not explicitly stated, and metonymy is the use of a word or phrase to refer to something else related to it, such as the White House, referring to the administration rather than the building, White House. Next is about metaphor. What is metaphor? Metaphor is a figure of speech that compares two things without using like or as, such as he is a lion in the battlefield. Now, chapter 6, stance and aspect. So this chapter is about the main time relationship and the compatibility of deictic adverbials, present, past, and future time. So, tense. What's tense? Tense refers the way in which a verb is used to indicate time, including like present, past, and future. And what is the aspect? The aspect refers to the way in which a verb is used to describe the duration, or progression of an action or stat. Chapter 7. So, this chapter with the title Modality, Scope, and Quantification. Modality. What is modality? Modality refers to the way in which a sentence expresses possibility, necessity, or obligations. Modal have modal verbs and tense, deictic, and epistemic modality. Next is relative scope. So, what is this? Relative scope refers to the hierarchical relationship between different elements in a sentence, determining how their meanings interact and influence each other. And for last is quantification. Quantification in linguistics involves expressing the quantity of subject or objects in a sentence using words like all, some, many, or few. Chapter 8. This chapter is discussion about the pragmatics. So, the first subbab is telling about conversational implicator. So, namely the inferences that can be drawn from the context of a conversation beyond the literal meaning of the word used. Next is about the presupposition in linguistics. So, presuppositions are assumptions or background information in speakers assume listeners already know or accept as true in order for the statement to make sure. And speech acts. Speech acts in linguistics is a communicative action performed through language, such as making statements, asking questions, giving comments, or making promises. And for the last chapter, we have connecting utterance to the background. This chapter have 3 subbab. The first subbab is definiteness. Definiteness refers to the specificity and identifiability of a noun phrase, often marked by articles like the for definite nouns and a or an for indefinite nouns. And the second subbab is claves and passives. So, claves are constructions that emphasize a particular part of a sentence, and passive are constructions that change the focus from the there of an action to the action itself. And the last, we have focal stress. Focal stress is the emphasis placed on specific words or phrases within a sentence to highlight their importance or contrast them with other elements. I think that's enough for me, and that's all. Overview of the book An Introduction to English, Pragmatics and Semantics. Semantics and Pragmatics by Patrick Reeve. I'm sorry if I had mistakes. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye.